Jenny suddenly became terrified when she realized that her mother might not be a normal human being. Every time her mother went out hunting, she would always take a pig with her, but when her mother returned home, would always come back empty-handed, and the pig would be nowhere to be found. However, there were always bloodstains all over her mother's clothes. Whenever Jenny asked about the whereabouts of the pig, her mother's face would change dramatically, and she would always avoid the subject. The more her mother avoided the topic, the more curious Jenny became. One day, when her mother went out hunting again, Jenny decided to follow her secretly, hoping to confirm her suspicions. To her surprise, her mother didn't go to the so-called hunting grounds. This must be it. She drove to an abandoned castle. Realizing there must be some hidden secret inside the castle, Jenny became scared and hesitated to approach. Just then her grandfather suddenly appeared behind her and warned her to return home before dark. As the night began to fall, her mother returned from hunting, but this time, she didn't come home empty-handed. Instead, she brought with her Jenny's long-lost Fanny wanted to talk to in them, but her mother refused to let her in. Considering her mother's recent strange behavior, Jenny's sense of unease grew stronger. To find out what her mother was hiding, she waited until the house was quiet in the middle of the night and quietly entered her father's room. To her shock, her father was lying on the bed, his body convulsing uncontrollably. Jenny rushed to check on him, but the next moment, she found herself back in her own room when she woke up. This strange event made her realize that her parents were hiding something from her. Something they didn't want her to know. The next day when her parents went out hunting again, Jenny quietly followed them. Once again, her parents did not go to the hunting grounds but instead drove to the same abandoned castle. Driven by her curiosity, Jenny waited until her mother left the castle and snuck inside. What she witnessed inside left her stunned. Just as she was processing what she had seen, her mother found her and quickly took her back to the car. By the time Jenny woke up, she was back at home and her father sat next to her, looking as if his soul had been taken away. The strange events left Jenny feeling as though she might be losing her mind. Her thoughts were plagued with terrifying hallucinations. In an attempt to ease her troubled mind, herself in her room. However, in the middle of the night, she heard someone knocking at her door. Terrified, she hid in the closet. To her surprise, it was her grandfather who entered.
We're leaving. Get your stuff.
But as they were on their way, her mother suddenly appeared, having taken a shortcut to block their path. The three adults then had a heated argument outside the car. At that moment, Jenny was completely confused, not understanding what was going on. In the end, her parents took her back home. From that point on, Jenny became more silent and withdrawn, increasingly suspecting might not be her real parents. One day, as Jenny sat idly by the pit bench, her father suddenly called for her, saying that he needed to take her somewhere. After some twists and turns, her father brought her to the same abandoned castle. Before Jenny could understand what was happening, her father revealed a family secret. He explained that every time the full moon rose, his body would undergo a transformation due to the family's genes. Was why Jenny's mother chained him up every night during the full moon, so he wouldn't hurt anyone. Only then did Jenny realize that her family had always insisted that she come home before dark to keep her safe and protect her from harm.